We've got John Key, the referee here, and Eric Nixon, the captain of Tranmere, and Kevin Scott, the captain of Newcastle United.
Number 9, Vic Quinn. Number 10, Andy Hunt. And number 11, Kevin Brock.
Hi, nice to see you.
David Rose.
Hi, if you'd like to come and see us after the game's over, pop down the dressing room and see us after the game's over. 20 minutes or so and we'll sort you out, okay?
Right,
thank you.
For the first time on British television.
Can you just get a quick photograph? You want to kneel down?
Posing for the photograph now that will be in the papers here on Merseyside in the morning, no doubt.
Well, you might all be interested in that one.
They assure me they won't be long. Here we go.
For this evening's game is Mr. John Key, and our linesman are Mr. G. Atkins and Mr. D. Unsworth, and our standby referee is Mr. George Gillespie.
First time ever, Newcastle have won the toss. I don't know whether Kevin Scott's going to bat or bowl, but anyway, whatever it is, John's already with the whistle. Best of luck, John.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
All yours, Richard.
Thanks very much, Eddie. He'll be in those pictures in the Merseyside papers tomorrow as well. Let's join our commentary team, Ron Atkinson, and the man about whom no less a man than Pele said recently, Peter who? Peter Brackley. Peter, good evening.
Thank you, Richard. I think Eddie Hemmings has taken over this show. I thought he was going to kick off there as well. Just the toss-up, and we're all set then for this first round match in the Zenith Cup. All roads lead to Wembley, a long, long way away. But certainly for Tranmere, well, they've been there so recently, of course, and they'll be very anxious to return there if they possibly can. And in the meantime, well, let's have a look at the two lineups. The Tranmere side there, Nixon in goal, Higgins, Hughes, the sweeper, and Vickers, the two markers, Brannan, Irons, McNabb and Martindale in midfield. Steele, Aldridge and Malkin are the front players. The Newcastle lineup, there we are, Cyrilicek in goal, the Czech, Nielsen, Scott, Bradshaw and Elliott at the back, and we'll just give you the rest of the lineup in a moment. And it really is a blustery night up here on Merseyside, and it's going to be difficult for the teams to adapt and to control the ball, but they have a reputation for playing good football, both sides. Here's Quinn to Clark, who's been one of the few successes really in the Newcastle side so far, and what's been a disappointing start to the season for them. Jed Brannan there tidying up at the back for Tranmere. Tranmere in contrast with just one league defeat on their return to the second division after more than 50 years absence. Here's Malkin. McNabb getting his place back in the side tonight. Aldridge. A typically darting run in from John Aldridge. And Cyrilicek had to be on his mettle to deny him. Now Kevin Brock, the former Oxford player of course, won the League Cup winners' medal with Oxford back in the mid-80s. Cyrilicek, who's a Czechoslovakian under-21 international, but has come under fire for some of his displays so far this season. He's an extrovert to say the least, as I'm sure we'll see as the game wears on. Now Hughes, the sweeper for Tranmere. There's big Jim Steele. Nielsen to Quinn, the man who poses the real threat up front for Newcastle. Kenny Irons, right straight into Nielsen. It was certainly a very entertaining meeting between the two teams earlier in the season in the league here, when Tranmere ran out winners by 3-2, but not after they'd gone 2-1 down. Steele. Here's Malkin. Malkin replacing Johnny Morrissey in the Tranmere side. Morrissey, one of the injured players. Malkin, who's got terrific pace, and he almost opened Newcastle up then. Here's O'Brien. Foul by Dave Higgins, one of the two markers at the back. And John Key, the referee, just having a quiet word there with Dave Higgins, and saying that he will settle for none of that. So Kevin Scott, the captain of Newcastle, to take the kick. Looking for Quinn. Beaten in the air though by Vickers. Here's young Nielsen. Two teenage fullbacks fielded by Newcastle tonight. And They've won another free kick here. It's Jim Steele back there helping out in defence. Scott has come up from the back, and Bradshaw too. This is Clark. What a goal! Took a deflection. The shot from Clark. And a shot lead here for Newcastle. Just 4 minutes into the game. And a goal from Lee Clark.
It's incredible, really, Peter. Here's a good left-footed shot. Gets it. Actually, it's Quinn. Surprising. I thought it was a deflection off a defender. Very, very possibly, yeah. Hard to tell where he's in line with that defender. The ironic thing is that's come from a free kick. That in actual fact, I think it was Kevin Brock made a right mess of. And he was very lucky to get the rebound. But full marks to young Lee Clark. Latched onto the rebound very quickly and saw his opportunity. And mind you, knowing Quinn, he'll probably snatch it. Yeah, Quinn will steal the goal and be a natural goal scorer.
I think they'll be arguing about that one half time.
Yeah.
Quinn will claim that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now with 200 league goals behind him, he'll want to add that one to his tally. But it's definitely deflected, and a suspicion of offside, one has to say, looking at the replays there. But it definitely came off Quinn. Well, the arguments are over for the moment. Newcastle leading here by a goal to nil. And we're only just outside the first 5 minutes. No real chance for Nixon in goal, in fairness to him. It was a deflection off Quinn.
I think Mickey Quinn will probably turn around and say that it wasn't a deflection so much as a deliberate jab at the ball. Being a natural goal scorer who, you know, is on a par with Aldridge, really.
Well, it was certainly a striker's instinct. Well, the shot from Clark was a fair one. It might well have tested Nixon anyway, had it got through. Nixon, who's without question one of the outstanding goalkeepers outside the first division, but even a keeper of his quality stood no chance there with that wicked deflection. However inspired it may have been from Quinn. Now O'Brien. That'll really lift the confidence of the Newcastle players. So often in recent matches they've had to come from behind. Not this time. It's not climbing high. Martindale, now for Hughes, Steele. Jim Steele, who's had a couple of matches out through injury and then returned, and really seeking match fitness again in what he says is his last season before joining the police force. He seems to say that every season. Martindale will take the free kick for Tranmere. Well, the goalkeeper, Serenicek, started to come for it, and then thought again. Now Clark, really bubbling. Peacock. Tranmere defenders scurrying back. They've got 4 or 5 up here, Newcastle, including Quinn, but he couldn't control it. That'll be a corner.
Yeah, just looking at that, they're seeing Gavin Peacock make that break. All the talk has been focused on the two number 9s, Quinn and Aldridge, and rightly so. But there's 2 interesting characters on the field. Peacock is a very, very good breaker from box to box. He can run from box to box very well. And on the other side, Malkin's always impressed me whenever he's played for Tranmere. Very unorthodox, not always in the team, but always makes something happen with his pace.
Now Newcastle are trying to make something happen here. Bradshaw didn't reach it, swirling away in the wind. And the drive from O'Brien, well, it was all over the top in the end, but certainly worth a try. And Ozzy Ardiles has been trying to encourage O'Brien to shoot more. Former Manchester United player. Not a bad effort, Ron.
Oh, he's a good shot, Liam O'Brien.
Now Higgins. Sending Malkin on his way, and he has got terrific pace. Aldridge in the middle. There's Aldridge. A shot from McNabb. And there's the equaliser. And how unselfish John Aldridge was then, nodding it back into the path of McNabb. And just 4 minutes after Newcastle's lead, Neil McNabb makes it 1-1.
But that's a classic goal, isn't it? Ball over the top for a fast right winger, pinpoint cross to the far post. As you say, Aldridge unselfishly doesn't go for goal. midfield player McNabb supporting. I feel the goalkeeper was a shade unlucky in there. People may feel he, on a good day, he may have stopped it, but I think he'd be a touch unlucky there. It's gone close to him, but it's a well-drilled shot from McNabb.
So 2 goals inside the first 10 minutes. Here's Hunt. We might have had another one. Certainly the wind played its part then. The ball flying from one end to another. McNabb with the equaliser then for Tranmere. A man who's not been in the Rovers side. Kept out by the form of Kenny Irons and David Martindale. But in tonight with Tony Thomas out through injury. O'Brien. Already this game has the signs of a cracking cup tie. O'Brien to Bradshaw, who'd been doubtful beforehand. In fact, the word was that he wouldn't play, but he's come through a fitness test, and they certainly need him at the back. A lot of youngsters in this Newcastle side. Too long for Quinn. Vickers with a header away. Played in by Brock. And it's Hughes thumping it away. Mark Hughes, whose form has been such that he was called up recently as a standby in the Welsh senior squad, and so often catches the eye in Tranmere matches. Aldridge. 11 goals this season from John Aldridge, and very much an assist in that strike by Neil McNabb. McNabb's first goal of the season. Good interception then by Vickers, who really has matured and blossomed in the last couple of years during Tranmere's rise. Martindale. Dave Higgins here, who's just received a one-match ban for misconduct after the home defeat recently. They suffered there. In fact, I think it was after the match with Bristol Rovers, but he's got a £500 fine and a suspension as well. That's Peacock with the cross. He did it first time, that's twice wrong, and he's got into dangerous positions. Andy Hunt.
Very much so. I mean, at the moment, Newcastle could be far and away in the lead. To think we've only been playing about 7 minutes, that's a lovely ball to the near post, and that's a classic striker. Getting first across the defender, and just a pity he couldn't have stayed over it a little bit more. But full marks for his position, got him well at the near post.
Andy Hunt preferred in the side to Andy Walker, the player on loan from Celtic. You can see there just how gusty the conditions are. Kenny Irons, one of the players in the heart of the midfield for Tranmere. Lee Clark. Here's Brock. Now then for Kevin Scott. Clark again. Support here from Hunt. And he did well then to get his shot in. Nixon with his body right behind it. But he's looking very lively.
Yes, in fact, the whole of the Newcastle side are. Probably in terms of, as a game, it's a relief for them, not having the pressures of league soccer. And they're moving the ball about quite well considering the conditions. A lot of good interplay in midfield, a lot of good movements. Peacock and Clark particularly interchanging very well in the centre of midfield. Every so often Clark goes up and joins the strikers, and then Peacock sort of reverses the role with him, and they are quite fluid in there. The one thing they do worry me a bit is they do seem to leave a little bit of space behind their fullback areas defensively, similar to how Malkin went down the line for the first goal for the Tranmere equaliser. But all in all, a good game, Peter, at the moment, considering.
Well, they certainly had a traumatic time in terms of conceding goals. Newcastle 23 in 11 games so far, League and Cup. Now, of course, it's 24 with the one tonight. Now, Martindale. He's having an excellent season so far for Tranmere. Quinn. Here's Nielsen now. Looking to augment the attack. And it was Hughes who came across and was certainly caught then by young Nielsen. So Hughes taking the free kick. Hoping to find Steele or Aldridge. Both, though, I think, rather deceived by the wind. Higgins. It's Steele. Leads the line in such belligerent fashion, Jim Steele. That's been intercepted there by John Key. Should be watching back on the video later. There's McNabb. Just flicked away at the last bit by Nielsen. And able to clear it too to Peacock. And Vickers kicking very tightly to Mickey Quinn.
There was Sir Aldridge take up that danger position on the back post again, didn't we? As soon as McNabb was shaping up for a cross, Aldridge was pulling on the second post away from defenders.
The Tranmere throw. Taken by Jed Brannan. England under-19 international. One of the very many promising youngsters they have at Prenton Park. O'Brien now. Good touch by O'Brien initially, then Peacock taking over. It's got Quinn forward here, and Hunt as well. O'Brien. Certainly been an enterprising opening to the game. 15 minutes gone. Tranmere Rovers 1, Newcastle United 1 in this Zenith Cup first round match at Prenton Park. Hughes. And it's not really a night to dwell on the ball. Such are the blustery conditions. Here's Clark. Now Nielsen. Looking for Peacock. There's Quinn prepared to battle for it. And the snapshot too on the turn. He's so strong and forceful, Quinn. Very hard to shake off, and of course he knows where the goal is. Terrific record down the years.
And also, this is also his hallmark as well. It's probably one.
This pass here as Malkin goes through. And who should be coming in but John Aldridge. Once again sensing the possibilities. And cracked it to the deflection off a Newcastle defender on the way. But how quickly then Aldridge responded in the danger area, and that could so easily have been a second goal then for Tranmere. All stemming from the pace on this right flank again by Chris Malkin. And again the wind plays its part, so a goal kick to Newcastle and a let-off too. And I would think Serinacek is going to be in for a busy night. Hughes, the sweeper, just shepherding the ball back to Eric Nixon. So 2 goals already. Let's see what Alan Hansen makes of it so far. Alan?
Yeah, well, it's a good open game. Lots of chances. We've actually given Quinn the first goal for Newcastle. We thought he'd put his foot out of it and it flew into the corner. As far as Tranmere are concerned, obviously Malkin down the right-hand side is having a lot of success. And I think Tranmere are using the right tactics in as much as they're trying to keep their men away from him, so there's not too many Newcastle defenders over there to get the cover on. And every time the ball's played inside the young fullback, Malkin's on to it, and he's causing a lot of trouble. And I think Ron made the right point about John Aldridge. He's just drifting off to the back post, and there's a good header down for the first goal. The goalkeeper was a bit unlucky, but it's a great open game, and it could easily have been 4-2 for Newcastle.
Thanks, Alan. And hopefully there will be more goals to come. Kevin Scott for Newcastle. Off goes Quinn. Little tangle then with Vickers, his marker. And the free kick given to Tranmere. Nicky Quinn, who was rejected by Tranmere as a schoolboy, as a teenager anyway. So he's anxious to prove himself here. Clark. Mistake, then let Aldridge in. And is this going to be another one? Yes! Aldridge tucks it away. And all from that mistake by young Robbie Elliott. A disaster for him. And John Aldridge taking full advantage in typically predatory fashion.
Yes, that's a disaster for the young lad, isn't it? Back pass, and he couldn't have given it to anybody worse, really. Aldridge one-on-one on a keeper. I don't think I can ever remember him missing that situation.
Well, again, perhaps the goalkeeper just slightly unlucky. It came off his body once more.
I actually think Aldo tried to lift that one over the keeper. Now, it's the classic finish when you're one-on-one with the keeper and he starts to go to ground, just lift it over him. And I think Aldridge actually tried to do that there.
So, goal number 12 this season for John Aldridge. Continuing in England where he left off from Spain, and before that, of course, with his Liverpool career. And he really was an astonishing goal scorer. So consistent. And with 18 minutes gone, it's Tranmere Rovers 2, Newcastle 1. After Newcastle had taken the lead. Clark with Peacock. Nice little combination. Too long for Quinn. And that was acrobatically trying to turn it in.
I think what is pleasing to watch from Newcastle is obviously they've had troubled times, but when they get the ball in the attacking half of the field, they don't throw the ball away. They try and play with some quality. They try and play a little in and out from midfield. They play into the front players and then support. And it is neat and attractive. Obviously, that the test will come if their results in the league don't improve. But Ozzy, he likes playing this way, and I honestly won't see him changing. And that can only be for the good of Newcastle Football Club eventually.
Yes, people who've seen all their matches say, well, yes, they've lost a lot, but they've always been entertaining games. And I think Ozzy's problem really is he's got a few inexperienced players in. He's without the likes of Bjorn Christensen, the Danish international, John Anderson, and also Ray Ranson. And of course, Frans Carr, the new man from Nottingham Forest, who's also out through injury. So he's had to bring in a lot more youngsters, perhaps, than he would have liked to have done. Martindale took too long though. McNabb coolly back to him again. Steals in the middle, and Aldridge too. Aldridge lurking once more. Didn't reach Steele. Malcolm couldn't get in there either. But here's Kenny Irons. Tranmere looking to turn the screw now. Again threading a path to goal. Aldridge. And it was Vickers who had come up from the back. So they're attacking Newcastle from all angles here. And Aldridge very much at the centre of the action. Leading goal scorers for all competitions. There we are, John Aldridge with 12. Steve Bull of Wolves among the goals again. And Paul Wilkinson of Middlesbrough, the top side in Division 2. Hunt. Now Peacock. Quinn. Give it away though to McNabb. That loses out to some tenacious battling there from O'Brien. So there's a picture of grim determination about Newcastle. Certainly haven't thrown in the towel. O'Brien. Here's the short passing game that threatens to create an opening here. Of course, they're rather too long for Hunt. He did well to turn then, Andy Hunt. Got a goal kick to Tranmere. Tranmere, who had a goalless draw at Blackburn on Saturday, while Newcastle had to battle back to pick up a 2-2 draw with Derby. By all accounts, Eric Nixon in goal for Tranmere was very much the hero at Ewood Park, as he has been so often for Tranmere in recent seasons. Marvellous acquisition he's been for them. Quinn now. It's a good effort too. And they're just on the line what I was saying. The consistency of Eric Nixon. But again, that was a sharp turn by Mickey Quinn.
Yes, that's two opportunities in the game he's got, and he's nearly produced with both. He is excellent in that position where he has to turn quickly.
He's been saying he's been having a bit of bad luck lately. Mickey Quinn hitting the woodwork once or twice. And, like all strikers, he hopes the goals will come again in abundance, and I'm sure they will for Quinn. Such a dangerous player around the penalty box. Brannan now. Here's McNabb. Brannan in with Scott. There's Elliott. Now Peacock for Newcastle. Hunt's doing well. Nixon save. Quinn drives it in. 2-2. Quinn's got it. Nixon saved the first shot from Hunt, but couldn't keep out the effort from Mickey Quinn. And just as we were saying, he's been having some bad luck. Well, he was in the right place there.
Yeah, well, young Andy Hunt's done exceptionally well here. Good turn. Hit it well. Nixon's made a good save. Can't quite get the parry. Who's in there? Quinn. Natural goal scorer, as we've got in the, as in Aldridge's case. That's what good goal scorers do. They get ordinary goals. That's tremendously far in there.
That's a real striker's goal then from Mickey Quinn. So quick to spot the possibility, but didn't Andy Hunt do well? And he's been very impressive so far. Quinn's goal to make it 2-2. This is, so far anyway, an enthralling cup tie. Free kick for Tranmere.
You just get the impression every time one of the teams comes forward now that a goal looks on the end of it. And we've already had 4 goals, might have had another 4.
And there's another opportunity here then for Tranmere. Martindale and McNabb organising the free kick with Aldridge, and Higgins there too. The 5-man Newcastle wall. Somebody's got to take it. It's Higgins. No problems with that one. I gather he's been having a few troubles with crosses. He's rather tend to flap at them. No doubt he's an excellent shot stopper, and he's been a bit unlucky with the 2 goals so far that Tranmere have scored. Hunt. Again turning so well away from Higgins. Andy Hunt, who came from non-league football, was a record signing at the time. 150,000 from Kettering. And the feeling is that he has been finding it hard to adjust to the demands of full-time professional football. But he certainly settled in well tonight, getting his chance up front alongside Mickey Quinn. Bradshaw. Here's Quinn. Now then for Clark. Tackle there by Brannan, not so sure about the back pass of Quinn. Is it there again? And my word, that could have been costly then. The back pass from Brannan, which left Nixon in all sorts of trouble.
Yes, Peacock's just a yard short of it. You'd have fancied Quinn from there. Nixon's done very well on the second save. Very good reaction.
Great recovery by Eric Nixon. No question at all, he saved his team from conceding another goal there. Nielsen. Now Clark. Here's Quinn. Well, a different route to go this time for Mickey Quinn, but to no avail. But that really was outstanding goalkeeping by Eric Nixon. Malkin. This is Martindale. Goes Malkin. Well, the flag was up on the far side. I think some of the Tranmere fans hadn't seen it. What they did see was Kevin Scott catch the ball. But of course, he'd spotted the flag. Free kick to Newcastle. Clark. Here's Quinn. Now Clark again, who seems to be all over the place. Very busy player. Now Peacock. That was totally wasted by Alan Nielsen. Nielsen, who scored recently in the defeat at Millwall. But he was way, way off target on that occasion. But in fairness to Newcastle, as Ron was saying, they haven't played like a team who've only won one of their last 16 league games. Far from it. Aldridge to McNabb. He'll look to get Malkin on his way again. Steele's gone ploughing through the middle. Oh, and Martindale! Oh, he's missed it. Well, I doubt he'll get a better chance than that.
Yeah, but I think that might just have summed up Newcastle's night there. The right winger Malkin doesn't hit the best of balls and it gets deflected right into Martindale's path. I must admit, I thought how ironic it's going to be. They're going to go in with a lead of 3-2 after being second best for most of the half.
That came off McNabb. Hughes, pressure from Hunt and from Clark. No foul. Referee John Key waving play on. Here's Peacock. Now Brock. Peacock. He's had an excellent half, Gavin Peacock. And Brannan eventually to tidy up at the back for Tranmere. Here's McNabb. 2 minutes of the first half to go. Brannan. Trying to push then on Aldridge. The referee allowing the advantage. Taken up by Aldridge. And Kevin Scott was in the way. So a corner to Tranmere. And a further test for Serinacek, the Newcastle goalkeeper. One of 3 Czech keepers in the English league. Klosko and Stejskal, the others. Both playing, of course, in the first division. Bradshaw couldn't clear it. Brannan now. This is Martindale. Again, Tranmere probing at this Newcastle defence. Looking to do so here with Irons. Higgins claims the corner. I think to make up for what a dreadful shot it was. And a smile from Dave Higgins, who scored a cracker the other week apparently. But certainly didn't extend Serinacek in any way this time. So into the last minutes of the first half. Not too much injury time, if any, to add on from referee John Key. Aldridge is on his way once more. And it was Bradshaw who just nicked it off his toe. And he was so quick again to spot the opportunity, John Aldridge. So quick off the mark. Jet Brannan. Should be Serinacek. Here's Peacock. No way forward for Steve Vickers. So the 45 minutes are up. We're now into time added on for stoppages. What little time there will be is all down to John Key. Martindale now. Off goes Malkin.
For once, even his pace is not enough. Had a few injury problems in recent times, Chris Malkin, and he's got to fight on to keep a regular place in the side. And there is the whistle to end the first half. A very enterprising one. It has been two goals from Mickey Quinn. He'll certainly be claiming both anyway. The first shot from Lee Clark was deflected in by Quinn. But 2 goals from Tranmere as well, from McNabb and John Aldridge. So plenty for the crowd to enjoy so far. A lot of good open attacking football from both teams. And at half-time in the Zenith Cup first round tie, it's Tranmere Rovers 2, Newcastle United 2.
Welcome back. 2-2 at Frenton Park. Tranmere Rovers 2, Newcastle United 2. This Zenith Cup first round tie. McNabb and Aldridge for Tranmere. Mickey Quinn with 2 goals for Newcastle United. Teams coming back for the second half. Pretty blowy, blustery, bitterly cold night here at Tranmere. Let's go outside and join 2 men braving the elements. Ron Atkinson and Peter Brackley.
And the teams indeed are just preparing for the start of the second half, and we could just check there on the formations. First of all, Tranmere Rovers using number 5 there, Mark Hughes as the sweeper, Higgins and Vickers, the 2 markers, Brannan, Irons, McNabb and Martindale across the midfield, and Steele, Aldridge and Chris Malkin are the 3 front players. Just check on the Newcastle formation. Serenacek, the Czechoslovakian under-21 international in goal. Nielsen, Scott, Bradshaw and Elliott across the back. O'Brien, Peacock and Brock in the middle, and Clark supporting the front 2 of Quinn and Hunt. And David Roach is on, I see now, looking out, number 12 in the second half here for Newcastle. We're just checking as to who's gone off, but he's a versatile player who could play at the back or at midfield. I would imagine he'll have a defensive role. We'll just have to work out what exactly, or how exactly is going to be employed in a moment. Ron's just looking around to see who's gone off, so away we go. Newcastle now attacking the goal to our right.
So Kevin Brock's come up.
And it's Kevin Brock, yeah. So whether Kevin's got an injury, we'll have to ascertain for you. There is David Roach.
Yeah, he's going to play straight in the central midfield position, and Liam O'Brien is going to push to the left-hand side of their midfield. Whether in fact that is an injury, or whether in fact Liam O'Brien's going to try and give some more cover to young Elliott on the left side.
So there we are. Perfect explanation from Ron Atkinson, who's probably been in the dressing room. So it all out for us. Roach on for Kevin Brock. Scott with the header. Certainly the crowd here have had excellent value for money so far. And if it continues in that vein, I'm sure there'll be no complaints at the end.
I just think if those was the idealists, I'd be sat there now thinking, well, I just wonder, have we missed the boat? They had an awful lot of chances.
And here's Steele and Aldridge almost finding one coming their way for Tranmere with this swirling wind. Yeah, you were saying there, Ron?
Yeah, and you feel that now with Tranmere with the wind behind them, whether in fact they'll turn the power up a little bit. Still Newcastle's best bet is to try and play like they did first half, and try and play under the wind, so to speak. Pass the ball nice and crisp and along the deck. And that'll be more prevalent now they're playing facing the wind.
Clark. There's Vickers to steer it back to Eric Nixon. Well, now John King, the Tranmere Rovers manager, is talking with Eddie Hemmings. Let's hear what he's got to say.
That match.
It'll be a wonderful match for the public. It's just that we're sitting in the box there, playing some good football. I mean, we're pleasing people, and we're conceding. We've conceded a couple of goals which they've not worked for. You know, a free kick and the one where they got round the back and finished. So the bad goals, and this half, you know, we've obviously got to tighten the game up a little bit at the back and continue to play our football.
Now you played into the teeth of this gale in the first half, playing with it at the back in the second half. Any different?
Well, we'll see what happens with the next 45 minutes, but both sides are capable of playing football. I think it's just that I just don't like to see these goals going in against me.
Thanks to Johnny King, manager of Tranmere. No manager who's ever satisfied, as I can tell you, sitting alongside Ron Atkinson, who sees things, of course, from a manager's point of view, and certainly defensively there have been a few errors. There's Quinn with a header. Clark knocks it back, and O'Brien with a shot way wide.
Talking with defensive errors, where did the Tranmere defence go to on that long throw? And all I could see in the penalty box were Newcastle forwards.
We'll certainly give Johnny King cause for concern, but fortunately for him and the Tranmere players, O'Brien couldn't take advantage. Steele with the header. Malkin was knocked up by Elliott. Here's O'Brien. Hoping to find Clark. The wind held it up. Brannan's header. And if anything, the wind has got even stronger now. It does make life very difficult out there for the players.
Yes, as I say, Newcastle have still got to be brave enough to still try and play their possession football, because if they start tossing it into the teeth of the wind, they've got no chance. It'll just swirl back on them.
But certainly there would have been some plus points for Ozzy Ardiles to dwell on at half-time.
Oh, very much so. I mean, if you're looking at it, things that he's worked at in training.
Here's Peacock now. Clark with Nielsen in support. And he got away from Hughes, not too far.
As I say, things that they have worked on in training, you'll have seen come out. You'll have seen the players trying to express themselves doing. You'll have seen full-backs. Even the young lad at left-back has pushed forward when he's had the opportunity to. He's seen people pour from the back into forward positions and try and join in the passing movements.
Well, Tranmere has broke down there. Here's Roach. Now Clark. Newcastle again moving purposefully forward. And Peacock. And a shooting chance might just come his way. It falls for Hunt. Nixon with the save. And whacked away to safety by Higgins. But again, Hunt was a menacing figure. And the spade work carried out by Peacock.
Yeah, to say he's not been on the score sheet, Hunt, it's mystifying, really. That must have been about the 6th very good effort he's had, that most of them have hit Nixon.
Well, he's been given his chance in the team by Ozzy Ardiles tonight, and he's determined to take it. Andy Hunt. This is Clark now, with the corner. Quinn with a header. Well, it's another corner. Could have been far worse.
Once again, you say, how does Mickey Quinn, in a packed goal mouth, get himself completely unmarked?
The danger of Quinn is there for all to see. Clark with the corner once more. Malkin away. Now here's Aldridge. A lone figure up front for the time being. Malkin came streaking out. He was a little unlucky then. And there's no flag. The Tranmere players looking across to the linesman. Here's Hunt. Well, he's got an eye for goal, Rob, no question.
Yeah, that was a rash one, that. Whether that was something to do with a little bit of frustration with not having gotten on the score sheet. I think if that had fallen to Quinn or Aldridge, for example, I think they'd have just taken the time, steadied themselves, made sure they hit target. But the kid rushed that way.
O'Brien. On there from Aldridge. Malkin, who thought he was impeded. And the referee brushing his protests aside, right?
He was definitely impeded. I don't blame the defender there, because the Malkin fellow, once he gets into flight, nobody's going to catch him, and that was a perfect situation for him to run onto.
So John Key deciding it wasn't a foul. And I was chatting with John Key beforehand. He's a very nice man. I'm not going to argue with him. But certainly there was a reasonable doubt there, I think. But he is a referee who really enjoys his job, John Key. Great character. Now, can Malkin keep this one in? Well, it was certainly awkward. Now, Lee Clark continuing in his industrious vein. But now, the break for Tranmere. It's got Steele ahead of him and Aldridge too. Now Martindale. Here's Malkin. Hunt held it up well. Quinn. Hunt once more. Supported by Quinn and by Peacock here. Now then for Clark. Peacock again. Quinn let it run. Clark. And he has Hunt. That was certainly not an easy ball for him to control. Came at him with some pace. They're open up again now, Ron.
Very much so. I mean, I'm watching the Tranmere defence, and they are tonight very, very static. I mean, there's plenty of mobility, plenty of movement from the Newcastle forwards and midfield players, and they are in fact losing the Tranmere defenders quite too often for Johnny King's liking, obviously.
Here's Clark. They're finding him hard to contain. Quinn, Clark again. Now then for Peacock. And Roach. It's a useful ball too. O'Brien. Now Mickey Quinn. In for Hunt. And none of his teammates there had read his intentions. It still remains a good, open, fast contest. Steele, policed as ever by Kevin Scott. And the free kick given to Newcastle. And there he is, Ozzy Ardiles, the man who graced so many matches as a player, hoping now for managerial success at Newcastle. But a hard task on. The season so far very disappointing for him. Clark now. Former England schoolboy captain Lee Clark, and a player who attracted a lot of attention a little while back from the big clubs. Ten minutes into the second half, and it's still 2-2. And the match very nicely balanced. Steele's header. Off goes Aldridge. Now, can he get away here from Elliott? Not like that, he won't. It's still going strong, Ron, at 33. And of course, you've got one in Aston Villa and Cyril Regis, who's proving there's no substitute for class and quality and experience, too.
That's right. I mean, I've always maintained that if players, doesn't matter what the birth certificate says, if they're good enough, let them play.
What's Cyril now? He's 33, Cyril Regis.
Yeah, but he was born in a leap year.
But he's doing a marvellous job for you, isn't he?
Yeah, to be true, compared to the fellow is.
O'Brien.
Because with the wind being so strong at the backs as well, Tranmere, there is a tendency, as we've just seen with John Aldridge trying to chase that ball, the ball does tend to run on a little bit too far for them sometimes. I'm a little bit surprised they haven't got more momentum this half, though. I thought they would be sort of giving Malkin the ball, letting him isolate the fullback and getting crosses into the box a little bit and build up pressure on the Newcastle defence.
Steele. Higgins had no chance of getting there. O'Brien now then for Hunt. Here's his chance. Great tackle though by Hughes. Immaculate timing. And certainly may well have saved a goal. Outstanding defensive play then by Mark Hughes. And now setting an attack in motion. Martindale's pass. Off goes Malkin. Couldn't fall for Aldridge or Steele. Bradshaw. Well, he came out of it well in the end. But from that excellent interception by Hughes, Tranmere suddenly created an opening at the other end. O'Brien. Now then for Alan Nielsen. Here's Quinn. Played in for Hunt. And Nixon right behind it. Steele. Nab with O'Brien. Malkin. Now Newcastle looking to press here. Roach's pass. Lucky then to find Clark. Nixon. Oh, a superb one-handed save then by Eric Nixon. He's having quite a night.
He is. He's having to, because the people in front of him are actually very much asleep. I mean, that was a prime example there. Clark cut in from the left side. Actually, it's a pity young Lee Clark didn't look up there. He could have cut it back to Peacock, who's in a far better position.
There's Peacock with the tackle. That'll be a free kick to Newcastle, surely. Jim Steele goes clattering in, and now there's an altercation, which John Key will have to sort out pretty quickly. It all got rather untidy then.
Very, very strange, though. Right out of character for the game, actually. I mean, there hasn't been a tackle in the game, and now the way those two... You watch the way these two go at it now, there's a... You know, they'll be very, very lucky, for argument's sake, not to go into the book. All starts with Jim Steele's overzealous challenge, if you like. Young Roach, he's picked on the wrong one, Roach, there. Poor old Kenny Irons, he looks as if he's getting the brunt of it.
I think I saw a knee in the head then.
Yeah. To be fair, if this had been a more fiery game, I think John Key would have had to taken some much more positive action.
Well, Jim Steele certainly went thundering in. But he's going to be a policeman, so I'm not going to argue with him either. And the rain now beginning to fall quite heavily at Frenton Park. Clark, it's a clever turn then. And again it was Hunt in there in menacing fashion.
Got to say, there's been some very, very enterprising play for him at Newcastle. I don't think the Tranmere defence are right on the metal tonight. I think they're switched off a little bit, and as I say, apart from that last little incident, they haven't really been challenging in a way I would expect them to in League or FA Cup matches.
Off goes Aldrich, hoping to benefit from that corner on from Jim Steele.
But certainly you can't take anything away from Newcastle. Some of their build-up plays, but that's not a prime example. But some of their build-up plays have been terrific. And little, as I say, Clark and Peacock, particularly so.
But they need the confidence really of getting a few good results behind them. And at the moment, they're right in this game at 2-2 with an hour gone. Remember, they are second to bottom in the second division, and they've had some pretty awful results so far. That's McNabb's intended through ball. But on their display tonight, Newcastle have certainly given themselves something to build on. Scott. Here's Hunt. Showing good pace now. Peacock. Clark's gone into the middle. Quinn in there too. And here's Clark. Almost fell then for Quinn. It was Vickers who cleared. Only as far here as Bradshaw. Now Mickey Quinn trying to shake off Vickers. In goes Clark, and Hughes whacks it away. Tranmere on the defensive here. This is Nielsen with Bradshaw. Finding his central defensive partner, Kevin Scott. Scott again. Trying to lead by example. In goes Jim Steele, knocks the cameraman over as well. Hughes, and that I think came off Peacock, did it? No. Came off Hughes. Not easy to see as we are perched up here above the stand. And I'm not leaning over too far, I'll fall off. Brannan. McNabb. Tranmere playing themselves out of trouble well. At least they had done. Nielsen fighting back. Peacock now. The danger certainly hasn't passed. Higgins underneath this one. It goes Elliott. And it was, in the end, gathered by Eric Nixon. Off goes Aldrich. Only Steele up in support, and is hauled back there, John Aldrich.
I think Scott might consider this a little bit tit for tat, but he's very, very lucky once again. He's definitely struck him with his arm.
So a yellow card for the captain of Newcastle, Kevin Scott. First of the game. Now, what can McNabb conjure up here for Tranmere? There's a whole posse of white-shirted players queuing up at the far post. Steele is there, and Malkin, and Hughes, and Vickers. Martindale. McNabb again. Looking for Vickers. Looked to me like a little push. And indeed spotted by John Key. Steve Vickers, who scored the winner actually in the 3-2 win here over Newcastle earlier in the season. Scott now. Off goes Hunt. Vickers away. Then on from Higgins. This is Roach trying to send Peacock clear. Certainly one of the most impressive players tonight, Kevin Peacock, for Newcastle. McNabb now for Tranmere. Steele. Brannan taking over. He's got Malkin in space over on the far side, but it was a long, long way away. And it was certainly an optimistic attempt then to find him. And the news we're hearing of Kevin Brock, he's got a very serious headache, so let's hope that's not too bad news for Kevin Brock.
We've all got very serious headaches.
I've got one working with Rom. O'Brien on for Peacock. And it's there! Oh, that was superbly taken then by Peacock. Well, I was just saying how well he was playing. And with 65 minutes gone, he's given Newcastle the lead again. 3-2. The man who scored 3 times, remember, in that recent cup tie against Crewe, is on the mark again.
Well, Liam O'Brien sliced them open again. Good running from midfield and a good first touch. A yard slower, and you see from here, Nixon would have probably smothered it. But that's a good measured pass. But that's a good run from a deep position.
So, Tranmere 2, Newcastle. John King has on the bench young Graham Branch, who's a striker. So well, he might get his opportunity. We'll have to wait to see. McNabb now. Malkin. Brunching tackle. Foul by Elliott, who's clearly been told to stick a little closer to Chris Malkin. Martindale. Now Hughes. Irons. Hughes can't make it, can he? No. Hoofed away by Bradshaw. Newcastle at full stretch now to hold on to this lead, which still looks a little precarious given their defensive record this season.
Yes, you wonder how much of this Tranmere pressure is due to Tranmere sort of realising they're going to pick the game up and drive forward, or Newcastle sort of psychologically just dropping off the game a little bit and trying to cling to what they've got.
Well, they certainly need to show a little more purpose now to Tranmere if they're to save this game. On from Clark. Here's Peacock. And it looks as if Tranmere are about to bring on 2 substitutes. Back to that in a moment. Here's Bradshaw. Now O'Brien, who was caught by McNabb. Pleads his innocence, but knows full well that was an illegal tackle. Bradshaw pumping it forward in search of Hunt. And Nixon fully aware to the situation. Martindale to Malkin. Steve Mungall and Graham Branch are the 2 subs about to come on. But here is Martindale. Now Malkin. Aldridge and Steele hoping for some service in the penalty area. Irons. Malkin. And this time Elliott did have some support. Martindale. was almost there. Still 3-3. Just under 15 minutes to go. Serenacek beaten again. Jim Steele, the scorer, back there by Lyons. Brannan and Higgins couldn't turn it in, but Steele most certainly could.
Yes, I think a little bit of fortunate here. Brannan Smith completely missed his kick, but Jim Steele, he's weighed in with a number of those over the years. But that was all due to some lovely play on the right-hand side there by Martindale to set the thing up in the first place. But as I say, a little bit of fortune at the end, in the middle of the goal.
Jim Steele's 4th goal of the season is a very important one in terms of keeping his team in the Zenith Cup. But here's Clark now. And with Hunt arriving at the far post, Nixon and Higgins between them just managed to thwart the danger.
You wouldn't bet against another 6 goals being scored before the end of normal time, would you, at the moment?
Clark will take the corner. Mickey Quinn's in the 6-yard area, and the wind sailed that one over the outstretched arms of Eric Nixon. I think he managed to get a touch. And Clark crossing sides now to take the corner on the right. Bradshaw, picked in the air though by Malkin. There's Nielsen. Now, can Clark reach this one? Off Brannan for another corner. Despite the process of Brannan and his Tranmere teammates, it really has been an absorbing cup tie, and it still really could go either way. You have the tall figure of Kevin Scott going up. There's Scott now. Little push though on Steele, and a free kick to the relief of the Tranmere fans. Free kick to the home side. Jim Steele, who scored in both the Leyland DAF finals that Tranmere played in. Indeed, he got the winner against Bristol Rovers in the first of those. Newcastle, who's had a pretty disastrous time one way or another. That's their away record there.
4 defeats.
McNabb. Away by Vickers. Well, the rain has died down now. The wind hasn't, though. And now I think we are about to see a double substitution that Tranmere have been trying to make for some time. Brannan and Vickers going off. Mungal and young Graham Branch coming on.
Graham Branch. Number 12,
Branch, who's used as a substitute so far this season in all the matches, that's all. He's quite a popular lad, I think, on the terraces. He got a big cheer anyway when he came on. And there's Stevie Mungal, over 500 appearances for Tranmere. What a great servant he's been to the club. And of course, he's experienced the good times and the bad. There's Mungal with the header. Hughes on from McNabb. Aldridge now trying to link up with Branch or McNabb. Didn't find either of them. Nielsen now. Tackle by Hughes. That was a fair one, says the referee. Higgins only partially clears. Quinn now. Ran straight into McNabb though. Martindale. They've changed calling on all their resources now in an attempt to clinch the tie. Steele. Complete miss kick. Well, no, he turned away in disgust. But here's Hunt now at the other end. Newcastle have Quinn up too, and Clark. Hunt doing so well. The old cool head then of Montgal, too much for Clark. In towards Quinn. Steele with Bradshaw. Now Nielsen. Here's O'Brien. Finding Hunt. At least he should have done. So the prospect of extra time looms larger. Ron's just looked at his watch and thinks I'll be late home. I think the missus is watching. Ron, you're all right, she'll know. Oh no, she's not into football, is she? Peacock. Trying to search out Mickey Quinn. And Roach was upmarked. Oh, that's well read then by McNabb. Now off goes Branch. Peacock. Oh, he is swinging from end to end here. Hunt. Nixon had to hold on so firmly. Only had Quinn too at the far post. Scott to Roach. A wrestling match between Higgins and Hunt. And the outcome is a free kick to Newcastle. So once more, Tranmere with some defending to do. And the free kick quite clearly taken from the wrong place then by Devin Peacock. 5 minutes of normal time remaining. Roach to take the free kick. Scott and Bradshaw have both come forward from the back. That was Peacock. And the shot over the bar was from Hunt.
I honestly can't remember seeing a striker have so many attempts in a game and not get his name on the sheet yet.
Well, he's certainly created problems around the penalty box for Tranmere, but he hasn't managed to score. He's still trying, and now he might. Here's Hunt.
That's the best chance of the night, friend. The lads had a dozen efforts or so, but that was the best chance. Made by Mickey Quinn. Lovely appreciation of another forward, and really he ought to have settled the match there.
But he has been so dangerous, so menacing, that Ozzy Ardiles, I'm sure, will see many good points in his contribution tonight. And if only he could score, well, he'd have settled it by now.
It's ironic, it wasn't on Saturday, apparently came on a sub and changed the whole game round by making and scoring a goal. You know, it'd be interesting to know how many chances he had on Saturday, and yet here tonight, he could have been leading goal scorer in the league, I would guess.
There's Aldridge, who is the leading goal scorer in the second division. Aldridge now feeding Martindale. Now McNabb. Martindale once more. 4-5 in the middle, including Steele, who in the end had a virtually free header. And he scored that third goal to bring it back to 3-3. Higgins getting the better of Andy Hunt. Branch, well, he was a willing runner and an overzealous one too. 3 minutes left. Well, no, in fact, the referee has given the free kick to Tranmere. I must confess, I didn't get too good a view of that one. And the referee has given the decision in favour of Tranmere. I would think for obstruction there on, looking at placing of the kick. Just inside the penalty area. So a real opportunity here for Tranmere. Martindale is there, and Aldridge. And here is Martindale.
There's certainly some confidence for the goalkeeper. I must admit, he'd only looked to one side just to be shaving his head, and he appears to have said, "Oh, that's over the bar. I won't give a corner away."
Well, as you say, that was extraordinary confidence by Serinacek. Martindale going close for Tranmere. On from Clark to Quinn. Made a mess of it first time. But here's Peacock now. Played in towards Hunt. And there's Stevie Mungal. Well, he's certainly fresh, of course. When he does come on. 23 years old, Stevie Mungal, and a great favourite at Fenton Park. Peacock. Looking for Quinn. And there's Martindale back there defending. How well, too. He's had a good match run, Martindale.
He's done particularly well since he switched to the other side of the field, the second half.
So we're into the last minute now of normal time, and unless either team can snatch a goal right at the last. And welcome back to windy Prenton Park as we get underway now with extra time. Newcastle kicking off. And still kicking from left to right. Hughes to Malkin. 3-3. No wonder are we in for more goals before they decide the Zenith Cup first round tie. The winners, remember, to play either Grimsby or Wolves in the next stage. Certainly both teams have had chances to clinch it. No one more so than Andy Hunt. Ron Atkinson reckons has missed 21 chances tonight. Not quite that.
No, I said he said 21 attempts. I didn't say that it's 21 chances.
He certainly missed a few, but nonetheless, he's been in the right place on many occasions. Malkin now. Here's Martindale. With Steele. Now, Kenny Irons. Tranmere camped around that penalty area. And that was a dreadful attempt by young Graham Branch. One of the youngsters brought through the youth system at Tranmere. And they've had many successes, of course, in recent seasons with the players who have come through. Likes of Chris Malkin and Kenny Irons, Tony Thomas and Jed Brannan. Stevie Mungal there, well, he's been around for about 12 years with the club. Came from Motherwell back in the late 70s. Now Martindale, the player who really fought his way back into the side last season. He was out for a long spell, out of favour through form and injury. Bounced back at the end of the campaign, and now very much a first choice in the team. Here's another one, Kenny Irons. Branch now. Mungal. Steele. Trying to hold off Kevin Scott. Oh, he's given it away to Quinn. Clark. Now was Hunt onside and Peacock. Well, there was no flag. Must have been close.
Yes, I think Hunt was offside actually on the other side of the field, but it just shows, I mean, we're extra time now and it's all on. It just shows how dangerous that policy of Tranmere's, or how adventurous, if you like. 3v3, marking across the back. And any time Newcastle put little pockets of football together, they can find a way through quite easily.
Hunt with Higgins. He was clearly very aware of Hunt's presence then, conceding the corner. And that'll be the signal for Scott to go up and Bradshaw. And of course they have Mickey Quinn in there too. Nixon organising the ranks ahead of him. It'll be Lee Clark to take the kick. But McNabb brings it away for Tranmere. Here's Aldridge forward. An excellent pass sent to by McNabb. Now then for Branch. Surely he dallied too long. Now, Quinn for Newcastle. Both teams continuing their adventurous policy. And it really has made for a cracking cup tie. Martindale. Here's Branch with Steele. And a lunge by Steele, certainly seen by the referee, but the advantage played. If it turns into one, it hasn't. It's going to be a goal for Aldrich. Dreadful lack of concentration at the back by Newcastle, and once again they've let him in. Well, that really was an amazing lapse. A comedy of errors, really.
Yes, I mean, you'd have thought after the goal the young Elliott made on for Aldrich in the first half, you'd have thought they'd have been very much aware of that, but I fancy him from there, actually, Aldrich. But there again, that's interesting. All great strikers, or all very good strikers, will tell you that if they keep anticipating back passes throughout the course of the game, they're going to weigh in with chances. Now, I mean, Aldrich has more than proved that tonight.
Well, poor Darren Bradshaw will be heartbroken. He was given the advantage by the referee after the foul by Steele. The referee waving play on, and Bradshaw, well, what on earth was he attempting in playing it back to his goalkeeper in that fashion? So smiles for the Tranmere players now, who find themselves ahead 4-3. 2 goals on the night now then for John Aldrich. Here's Steele, one of the other goal scorers. Branch. Kenny Irons. Another one from Martindale. 2 goals in 2 minutes. And suddenly the tie has really swung in Tranmere's favour. The Newcastle defenders all over the place. Well, there's the distraught figure of Serenacek. And a beaming smile from David Martindale. His first of the season. And, well, maybe now it's put the tie beyond doubt. Who knows?
We also saw there the John Aldrich, the provider. Lovely ball laid into his path.
So Martindale makes it 5-3 to Tranmere.
It's amazing, really, though. I mean, of the 2 defences, Newcastle's, I think, is actually looked the stronger and the tighter. Now, all of a sudden, within the space of a minute or so, they've just absolutely crumbled.
But, well, this game has been so unpredictable, who can say it's over? But certainly, Newcastle now have given themselves an awful lot to do. McNabb coolly steering it back to Eric Nixon. Those 2 sudden goals, 2 sudden strikes, put a fresh complexion on the game. And Johnny King, well, he can't relax totally the way this game has been played. But his team now have a 2-goal cushion. Martindale. Now then for Kenny Irons. A deflection. And well held by Serenacek.
Yes, deflection as well. Nice height for the goalkeeper, though. He'll be happy with that one because he hasn't had too much to stuck with him tonight.
Roach. Off goes Peacock. No chance of reaching that one. And 1 or 2 Newcastle heads now beginning to drop. Well, they've certainly given Tranmere a terrific match, no question of that. But surely even they can't come back from this. Well, we shall see. Steele with Malkin. Still Malkin. Aldrich had pulled away to the far post. Branch. Kenny Irons. The defender has gone down, not surprisingly, under the weight of that shot.
Yes, it's a tremendous shot from Branch, but I wonder if he'd noticed, as you said in commentary there, that Aldrich had just pulled away to, as he cuts this back in now. Branch really does leather this one. The defenders, unfortunately, get in the way. But just to the side of him here, Aldridge is completely unmarked.
Alan Nielsen getting some attention. Yeah, Aldridge had made a terrific run to the far post. He's so quick to suss out any possible opening, John Aldridge. And as the move started to develop, he pulled away to that far post, and if they'd found him, it was a certain goal. So Ozzy Ardiles looking rather crestfallen now. Certainly his team look to be heading for defeat unless they can pull it round once more. There's Alan Nielsen, thankfully back into the fray. And the good news for us is that some hot tea has arrived. Ron was hoping for a cold Coke. Certainly a very chilly night now, and it's looking rather rosy for Tranmere. Branch couldn't get there this time. Here's Aldridge, hustled out of it though by Roach. Peacock. Now Quinn. And this time Darren Bradshaw reading the situation sufficiently to deny an opening for John Aldridge. But it was Bradshaw's mistake which gave Tranmere the lead, really. And now they've added to it. It's looking as if Tranmere Rovers are heading for the next round. Branch now. Steele's gone into the middle, and Malkin. And the goalkeeper watches it sail harmlessly by. Ten minutes into the first period of extra time. 5-3. Tranmere lead. O'Brien with the header. Here's Martindale. Now Malkin. Good running here by Mungal. The steal and Branch. He was a little off balance. I think he lost his footing anyway. He puts himself about, Ron.
Branch, yes, looks big, powerful, looks to have a good turn of pace. That's all led from a very, very good run from a deep position by Mongol. Looks as if his foot slipped there just as he hit it.
Quinn didn't touch that one too well. As we've said so many times, it isn't easy with this gale that's blowing at Prenton Park. O'Brien now. Here's Quinn as Mark Hughes slipped. Quinn wanting support. He's found it here with Peacock. Good turn. Not a bad effort either. So seemingly Tranmere in command. Let's see if Alan Hansen goes along with that now, Alan.
Yeah, definitely, Peter. I feel really sorry for Newcastle. I think they deserve to win the game in 90 minutes. But I can't see them really coming back into the game now. I think Tranmere are fully in charge. And it really wouldn't surprise me if they went on to score another couple of goals.
And that first one of John Aldridge's that we saw, his second, Ron reckoned he'd have scored. You'd have gone close from there, wouldn't you, Alan, that one?
Well, I think I would have scored that one, Peter. Mind you, having said that, after watching it the second time, I'm not so sure that the goalkeeper shouldn't have come and picked it up. I thought he was a bit hesitant coming off his line. But I think 4 yards out, I might have had a chance of scoring from there.
Ron's shaking his head, but there you are. So, Tranmere still on the attack here. Just to tell boxing fans waiting for ringside, that'll be on at 10 o'clock. We are, of course, staying to the end of this match, which Tranmere are controlling now, and this is Kenny Irons. Martindale. Finding McNabb. And here's Aldridge. They can't allow him any space in the penalty area.
Yes, he's enjoying it, isn't he? Barring a miracle now, he knows that the job's done, and so he's just going to look to try and get his name further up that score sheet in the leading goal scorers list.
Yep, he'll have his eye on a hat-trick now, John Aldridge. Mickey Quinn's on one as well, of course. But here's Clark now. And the way to goal opened up for him, and he scored! Oh, what an amazing game.
Yes, before we go any further, that young lad's deserved the goal. He's worked tremendously hard, hasn't dropped his head. He's taken that goal very well. There's some really heavy pressure here. We see him, he's won this ball after some heavy pressure by Mickey Quinn on the Tranmere defence.
Well, he's been getting some terrific reviews this season, Lee Clark, and he's certainly underlined why tonight. Quite outstanding he's been for Newcastle, and as Ron says, he fully deserves a goal, which, well, may yet turn this game yet again. 5-4, Tranmere Rovers lead. 9 goals and so many near misses. We could have had a hatful more. We're now into the last minute of the first period of extra time. Stay tuned, don't miss the end of this one. Aldrich now. McNabb's got through the middle. And it was cleared away at the last. As McNabb made that positive run through from midfield. Who gave such good service, of course, to previous clubs like Brighton and Bolton and Manchester City. And he certainly played his part in Tranmere's revival in recent times. McNabb going in once more. Higgins now. There's 3 at the far post. Steele, flag was up anyway. At least it must be. I can't see from here, but I'm sure it was. Certainly the Newcastle defenders stopped. And they have the offside decision. Well, Ron, we thought it was all over, but it makes you wonder now. And there is the whistle to end the first period. 5-4. Are Newcastle back in it? Well, they've certainly given themselves hope, as referee John Key prepares to get on with it now. And don't forget, it will be penalties if they can bring it back to 5-all. And I wonder what he's thinking down there, Ozzy Ardil is. He's seen his team take the lead, throw it away, and then come back again. So they've certainly shown some character. I think it's Kevin Brock in the corner there, Ron, so hopefully he's okay. He had to go off early with a headache. So off we go then. Jim Steele trying to link up with Malkin.
Yeah, it's strange. That was a tactic that was very, very productive for them in the first period of the normal time, but during the second half of normal time and extra time, they tended to disregard trying to play the ball in behind for Malkin.
Well, Newcastle now have this gusting wind to urge them forward as well, so they may yet save it. And it can't be too often that Eric Nixon has led in 4. As Ron was saying earlier on, but for his defiance, they will have conceded more tonight. He made some superb saves early on. Hunt now. Goes Higgins, who's a pretty fearsome defender. Roach. Off goes Peacock, with no chance of reaching that one. The players, not surprisingly, beginning to tire a little now.
It's been unreal all through the game, though, actually, how slack the defenders have been. You know, they seem as if they want to be... Defenders normally are steamed up to win tackles and headers and so forth. Today they seem as if they want to enjoy playing on the ball. Whether it's the nature of the competition or what, I don't know.
Aldrich couldn't get there. Here's McNabb now. Certainly has been a manager's nightmare in terms of goals conceded. Malkin. It's Kenny Owens. Well, they're claiming the corner. Ryan thought he'd scored for a minute. It really was a stupendous effort then by Kenny Irons.
I was just thinking this might have been the best goal of the night had it gone in. It was a corner, actually. Patriot Bradshaw on the way past
him. Kenny Irons, who scored a super goal the other week at Bristol City when Tranmere came back to force a 2-2 draw. Now, I think that is going to be a caution. Referee John Key very unhappy with the tackle by Robbie Elliott. So a yellow card for Robbie Elliott. And a free kick for Tranmere, which Mark Hughes is about to take. Steele for Aldridge. Spectacular save by the goalkeeper. Not sure whether he needed to do it.
I think it's one of those he could have possibly walked across and put his cap on it, I think. Still, it's all for the night's entertainment.
Well, an interesting save to say the least. And it almost squirmed away from him too.
No, I'm perhaps being a bit harsh on him. It perhaps was a better piece of goalkeeping than I gave him credit for.
Well, he was certainly alert to that effort from John Aldridge. Hooked in by Elliott. Now Clark's in. And a goal! And Peacock's got it. It's 5-5. The excitement continues. The drama goes on. And Newcastle, for being 2 goals down and written off, so it seemed, have come back again.
Once again, some beautiful link-up play. I mean, the lad Hunt's turned the ball into the box, into young Clark's run. Clark's just measured it across, and full marks to Peacock. He's got in there from midfield.
Well, that's 2 goals for Gavin Peacock tonight. 2 for Quinn, 2 for Aldrich, now 2 for Peacock. Here's Hunt. 10 goals, it's quite a way to start Sky's coverage of the Zenith Cup this season. I hope that at home you're enjoying the entertainment as much as we are. Not a night for defenders to shine. Off goes Branch, taking on Nielsen.
That's incredible, isn't it? Virtually from the first minute of normal time till now, every time there's been a positive attack, it's nearly always resulted in either a chance or a near miss or a goal.
Truly astonishing game. Full of incident. And, well, full of goals, no question about that. There's Higgins now. And Hunt. Nixon was brave and strong and resolute. And he had to be, too. And I think Andy Hunt's come off worse there. And Nixon straight away throwing the ball out, making sure that Hunt receives attention.
I think this is an encouraging thing for young Hunt. He's run about all night, he's had chances, he's had situations, he's had near misses, and yet here we are, virtually nearly 2 hours play, and he still doesn't get disappointed. That's a good character thing for him. That at least he's still prepared to go in where it hurts and maybe try and open his account for the night. You know, I've seen players, more experienced players, miss chances and then duck out and go missing, but he's kept at it.
And Andy Hunt is back on his feet, some refreshment to keep him going. And he certainly took a buffeting then from that collision with the burly figure of Eric Nixon. Andy Hunt, who's had a lot of chances tonight, but he's shown a lot of spirit up front and may well have deserved another chance in the side. I'm sure he has.
I wonder if you'd bet against him scoring the winner, if there is a winner in normal play.
I wonder. Quick word from Alan Hansen. Alan?
Well, Peter, I was just thinking, it just shows you how much I know about football. At 5-3, I thought Newcastle were down and out, but they've come back into the game really well, and it's anybody's game now.
It certainly is. And just a reminder, boxing fans, ringside follows at 10 o'clock. We're staying with the action right here at Prenton Park. Lee Clark, who seems so full of confidence, so full of running. He really has caused untold problems, as Hunt is trying to do here, and he's showing so much confidence, Andy Hunt, for all those squandered opportunities.
Just wonder now if Johnny King, and it's easy with hindsight, that's another good effort with his right foot this time. If Johnny King with hindsight may, once he'd taken the lead and got into that commanding position of 5-3, whether he may have gone back to a more orthodox defence and perhaps pulled another man back and stuck Hughes back into his normal role as a sweeper.
Malkin. Here's Peacock. Now Quinn. Roach taking over, and O'Brien. Oh, it was an opening.
Oh, it was a good chance. It was a good chance. Big Liam, if he could have only controlled if his first touch, in fact his first touch did look right. I really fancied him here to drill the back of the net.
So another opportunity goes begging. It stays at 5-all.
If it stays like this, Peter, the number of chances that have been missed, you wouldn't fancy anybody to score a penalty.
O'Brien for Newcastle. Hughes was a poor clearance. He's let Quinn in. He has the effervescent figure of Clark away to his right. This is Peacock now to Quinn and Hunt. Still Hunt. Oh, terrific save by Nixon as Quinn came storming in. Well, he's not going to score tonight, Ron, surely.
That was possibly his nearest effort, wasn't it? I mean, he looked as if he'd lost the chance. Looks as if it got tangled up in his feet. And all of a sudden, he's dug it out from his feet. And Nixon's made a good save there.
Malkin now on the break for Tranmere. Here's Aldrich. Suddenly they're posing questions at the other end. And then it goes wide.
Oh, that's a good chance, isn't it? That's another good chance gone begging. Marvellous crossing from John Aldridge there. But I think Malkin should have buried that one. That's a marvellous crossing. I mean, maybe the ball's a little bit behind him. Yeah, possibly a little bit behind him, but possibly should still have been on target.
So I think it held up in the wind again. No question, Chris Malkin will be a very disappointed man in having failed to score there. Roach to Peacock. Again combining with Quinn. And there's Hunt, who seems destined not to score tonight. Martindale taking the throw. And a foul throw. So the pressure's back on Tranmere. Five minutes of extra time to go. Clark. Quinn will have to fetch this one. They've got Peacock in the middle here. Another man who's had an excellent match tonight. And towards O'Brien, Martindale away. Here's McNabb. Given straight though to Elliott. That would have been some story if he'd got the winner. The man whose error presented that chance to John Aldrich. He was actually born on Christmas Day, Robbie Elliott, and I think John Aldrich must have thought it was Christmas with that chance many, many moons ago now. A lot's happened since then. And Elliott has played his part in Newcastle's latest revival. Here he is once more. Malkin breaking away. Finding to Aldrich. And safely in the arms of Serenacek. 5-all here. I'm hearing in the Football League there have been 2 6-all draws tonight. I'll tell you about those in a minute. And the history of I'm hearing the wrong information there. I think someone was saying it was 6-alls tonight. 6-alls in history of the Football League. Slightly different. Made Ron Atkinson fall off his seat anyway. Thought it was Aston Villa. Nielsen shaking off Branch. Threatening to go all the way. And it's a penalty.
Definitely. I thought he wasn't going to give it a first, Peter. I thought he was holding fire there, John Key, but he studied the decision. He's bang on right.
It was Nielsen who made the run. Branch, a little recklessly perhaps. And John Key had a long, hard look and said that is a penalty.
So,
Mickey Quinn will take it. And this to make it 6-5 to Newcastle. And well, you can feel the tension here now. The ball won't stay on its spot. Eric Nixon won't go on his line. Now he's back there. It's Quinn against Nixon. Quinn scores 6-5 to Newcastle as this extraordinary game takes yet another twist. Well, Ron, what about that?
That's a good penalty. Nixon moves a fraction before he takes it, gives himself up, but Quinn, he looked very composed. Sometimes you get the feeling, don't you, with a penalty kicker? He did with him there.
Well, he battered that one past Nixon. That's 3 for Quinn tonight. Peacock, still Newcastle, looking for further goals, and it's Elliott driving it through. Tranmere torn apart for the moment. And they really must be wondering how on earth they've let this game slip away from them, having established that 2-goal lead at 5-3. Now 3 goals from Newcastle put them in front again. O'Brien. We're into the last minute. And well, it seems that Newcastle are going to make it through to the next round, unless Tranmere can turn it round once more. You can't really make any predictions now in any assured manner. O'Brien. All credit to Newcastle for the way they've bounced back here. Peacock. Here's Roach. And they really need to just retain possession now.
Just listening to the Newcastle fans then, can't be many times you're away from home when your fans are chanting, "We want 7."
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, I've seen some exceptional cup ties down the years, but this one will live with the best of them. The way that fortunes have fluctuated throughout. So, just injury time now to go. Higgins. It seems now that Mickey Quinn's 3rd goal of the night is going to be enough. Nixon pumping it upfield. O'Brien. McNabb trying to win it back. There's Nielsen, the man who was brought down for the penalty. Hughes. Off goes Quinn. And they've got Peacock up and Hunt too. There's Quinn. And somehow it didn't reach Peacock. But Elliott for Quinn. And the flag was up anyway, so it wouldn't have counted for all the heroics of Nixon. But all this is, well, it leaves you breathless, Ron, really.
Well, I don't think I've ever been to a first-class football match where so many chances. I mean, there's been a fair few of them taken by the scoreline.
Could be another one here. Clark. Down he goes. Calls for foul, mainly by the Newcastle fans, who are whipping themselves into a frenzy now with all the excitement.
Yes, if it stays like this, you'll also feel very pleased for Ozzy Ardiles, won't you? Because I mean, he plays a brand of football that when it really is right. Here we go again.
Malkin, Bradshaw. For one moment then, visions of an own goal. Well, Ozzy Ardiles looking cool and relaxed. Tony Galvin, the old Tottenham winger, alongside him there, his assistant at Newcastle. I wonder what they'll make of it all at the end.
May not be over yet. Hughes. Whacked away upfield. Here's Mungal. Defenders streaming out, and they've caught them offside.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Zenith man of the match is Newcastle number 8, Kevin Peacock.
So Bradshaw to take the free kick, and he's taking his time over it, as you'd expect here with Newcastle so close to an unexpected victory. McNabb, and offside again. Frustration for Tranmere, who astonishingly have gone from 5-3 up to be trailing 6-5, and only a few seconds now to go. Harmlessly through to Nixon. Now what can he do? What can Tranmere do now? Surely it's all over for them. Maybe not. Jim Steele to Branch, whose mistake gave away the penalty, and he'll be so anxious now for Tranmere to equalise again. McNabb. Now then for Kenny Irons. Aldridge. Push. Penalty. Well, he hesitated again. He looked long and hard, John Key, as he did at the other end, and he says penalty. And Nielsen, who'd earned the penalty at the other end, now has given one away. Ron?
Yes, he certainly pushed John Aldridge in the back, and John, experienced campaigner, has stumbled well enough as well.
Well, he missed 2 in a row, including one against Newcastle earlier in the season. What will he do this time? He'll steer it in. Now, the Newcastle players are unhappy at the feint there by John Aldridge, and there has been some controversy over this, but they say there's nothing in the rules to say that he can't do that. And Ozzy Ardeel is, well, the emotions that he must be going through now down on the bench, sees his team pegged back again to 6-all.
Yes, I know there is a school of thought says that that's gamesmanship, but I can't quite figure that. I mean, the goalkeeper's dived before he's kicked it again.
Well, what can you predict now? This really is an amazing night. It's 6-all, 12 goals, a host of near misses, 2 penalties. What more could you ask for in a football match? And there's Scott, under pressure from John Aldridge, who's got 3 now. Well, he doesn't know whether to smile, cry or what, John King. And there is the whistle to end extra time. The players shaking hands, but it's not finished yet. It's on to penalties. She was pretty exhausted out there, John Key.
Would you believe it? 6 apiece. I'm sorry to interrupt so abruptly, Peter. Alan, where is it all going to end? He used to do this before he went to Spain, didn't he? He came back saying he loved it.
As long as he's been taking penalties, is it? This is on here. It's touch and go. A lot of referees would have given that, and a lot wouldn't have given it. But that is an exaggerated feint there. But as Ron says, the goalkeeper's dived long before he's kicked it. I mean, they can't really complain about that.
Well, we were in conversation with Dave Besant on the Footballers Football Show here on Sky Sports only, 10 days ago. And Dave was saying that cup final penalty, and you'll remember it well, he stayed, he waited for the feint, didn't buy it, stayed, went to that side, John prefers that side, and of course made a very, very memorable save. You've got to wait, haven't you? You've got to stay on your feet.
You've got to stand up.
He's bought it here.
Yeah, he's gone down, hasn't he? He's gone down early. And Aldo's just waited for him and put him in the corner.
That's the side he went, of course, at Wembley.
But obviously he's going to take one again. It'll be interesting to see what the goalkeeper does this time.
You see, the rules talk about ungentlemanly conduct in these situations. Now, can that be construed as ungentlemanly conduct, that little feint? I mean, we talked all night about it.
I wouldn't say so. I would say the goalkeeper's got to stand up. I mean, he's going to hit it, feinted, and put it in another corner. I would say that that is good play.
And the striker has got to, whoever that is striking that ball, take every advantage he can in that situation.
Of course, it is. I mean, the rules say that the goalkeepers shouldn't move, but if you look at that goalkeeper, he was down miles before John Aldridge took the penalty. So there's a bit on both sides, but as I was saying, it'll be interesting to see what happens when Aldridge takes this penalty. Well, exactly what the goalkeeper does.
Going to the far end, I hope. That's the end we have a camera. The Kop end. And it looks as though Newcastle will take the first penalty. Where's your money now, Alan?
Well, I've gone for Tranmere all along. I'll have to stick with Tranmere.
OK, Quinn's about to start the sequence. Penalties, we'll get a conclusion one way or the other. Peter, it's all yours again.
Thank you, Richard. Yes, it's Mickey Quinn who will be taking the first penalty, having scored in extra time. How will he fare this time against Eric Nixon? Once again, taking his time to place the ball on the spot. It's a real test of nerves now. Here's Quinn. He's hit the post. And the first one is missed by Mickey Quinn.
Interesting there watching John Key. He was watching Nixon in goal trying to do a Grove. Now watch him, he's moved well before he struck it, albeit it's hit the post. Now technically he should take that again. But by and large you'll find nearly every goalkeeper will move well before the kick is taken. There was a spate where referees used to be very, very strict on this. I think they've gone off this a little bit now.
Well, as Johnny King looks on, it's Kenny Irons who will take the first kick for Tranmere. And scores. So Tranmere lead 1-0 on the penalties, 7-6 if you count the 6-6. I think when people see the score in the morning, they haven't seen the game, they'll presume it was all penalties.
Goalie hasn't given himself a chance again, has he? Committed himself ages before the players even got to the ball.
So how costly is that miss by Mickey Quinn going to be? It's Lee Clark now, a man who certainly enhanced his reputation during the match tonight. And it'll go up another notch if he can tuck this one past Eric Nixon. Saved by Nixon. Well, did he move? Let's look at it again. Lee Clark has missed the second one. Well, he's gone. He's committed.
You see, I wonder how the referees justify that. The ruling states that the keeper's supposed to have both feet on the line. He's dancing about. Full marks to Nixon. He's going to use gamesmanship and try and impose himself on the kicker.
Well, it was a great save, but he definitely moved. No question there.
No, but he's moving about well before the kick's taken.
Here's Mungal. 2 successes for Tranmere, 2 misses for Newcastle. Now it's David Roach. Nixon has just thrown the ball away, as we're seeing again there, Mungal scoring. I'm trying to keep a note of all the goal scorers tonight. I've run out of paper. Here's Roach now. And at last, one has gone in. But will it be too late now? 2-1. Mark Hughes stepping up to take the next one as we see David Roach score. Nixon almost got a hand to that one.
I'd like to see Sirenchek stand up for this.
Hughes in the top corner.
I don't think he could do about that. That's a good penalty. Super penalty, that one.
I bet his heart is pumping away now, Johnny King. It's well taken by Hughes, right into the top corner. No chance for Sirenchek for all his acrobatic style. Gavin Peacock, who scored twice during the game. Jangling nerves for both the kicker and the goalkeeper. All the pressure on Peacock,
And that's his response. (3-2), but Newcastle, remember, have missed 2. Now it's Higgins. And of course, if he scores this, it's all over. So Higgins, he saved it. Terrific save too by Sirunacek. Well, we might have known this would go right to the death. So it stays at 3-2. It's hard to keep track of all this. O'Brien is going to take the next one. 3-2. Tranmere have missed one now. So he's got to score here, O'Brien, to keep Newcastle in the tie. O'Brien, he saved it! And that's it. Tranmere are through, thanks to the heroic set goal of Eric Nixon. Congratulations there from Aussie Ardealers to Johnny King. And this extraordinary night finally ends. The Newcastle fans applauding their team. They're getting a good response too from the players. Well, there's the hero, Eric Nixon.